Hi, thanks again for joining us for part 2 in our real estate and insurance series here. Again, my name is Joe Polyak with Keller Williams Real Estate in the San Francisco Bay Area, and this is Roger Heighton with Farmers Insurance. And today we're going to discuss, we'll jump right into it again, today we're going to discuss vacant properties and insurance relating to a home that's vacant for a prolonged period of time. Roger?
All right, Joe, thanks. Thank you for welcoming me back and sharing your audience with me. A lot of times when people buy a property and it may be vacant for a while, they don't think to tell their insurance agent about that. And you as a realtor, this is something where you can deliver some real value to your clients, is let them know to be very honest with their insurance agent. And the reason it's so important is most standard home insurance policies have a clause in them that says if the property is vacant for more than, it's usually 30 or 60 days, so you'd want to read the contract language or talk to your agent, but it says that if the property is going to be vacant over that amount of days, then after that time period, it loses some important coverages like vandalism, malicious mischief, and some other things. And this can be critical because if you think about it, if you have a vacant property, it's very likely that, and nobody's attending to it, somebody can come in, students or people or squatters, and if they say they start a fire or some kids are in there hanging out, fooling around, they cause damage to the property, under most standard home insurance policies, that damage would not be covered. Okay. Now, you can actually get coverage specifically for vacant properties. Okay. That's the good news, right? So you don't have to face a potential loss. You simply have to plan and get the right coverage in place. It's like trying to buy the right type of property for what you want to do. This is very similar. You want to make sure you have the correct type of insurance protection for that property. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great.
What are some examples of properties that are vacant for a prolonged period of time?
Sure. Some of the most common examples are if somebody passes away and the property goes into probate and it's going to be sold after a while because the estate wants to liquidate the property. And so it may be completely vacant. Nobody's moved in, they're not going to rent it out because it's for sale, but sometimes it can take a while to settle the estate, and clear the property for sale. And so I've had clients where properties have sat vacant for a year and a half. Obviously around here properties sell very quickly, especially if you're the realtor, right? Yes. Yeah. But sometimes they can sit vacant while the family has arguments about what they're going to do with it. And that's a perfect example where that might happen. Okay.
As far as, now just to touch on that though, because I have I specialize in probate and trust sales.
Excellent.
Oftentimes. And so there's a lot of personal property in the house, and a lot of times what people are arguing about or kind of debating or working on for a long time is liquidating or distributing. For example, if there's 5 brothers and sisters,
right,
and the oldest sister loves the mirror that was in the master bedroom, and that's what she wants, and they're kind of now separating things, and that takes some time. Everybody has full-time jobs.
Correct.
Is there coverage for those kind of items, even sometimes like priceless items?
Yeah, that's a good question, and there it gets down to the details of the policy. And again, one of the things that people find here is that insurance coverage can vary from company to company, so it's very important to talk to the company you're working with to find out exactly what they're going to cover. Again, on vacant policies, a lot of times there can be exclusions for that personal property in there, but if there is an exclusion, there are ways to handle that. Okay, sometimes through a separate coverage, or sometimes maybe moving those valuable items into a storage place, right? To make sure they're the best way. Yeah, to make sure they're covered.
Okay.
But the important thing is if you've got a property here that's it might sell for $2 or $3 million. Of course, then the cost to rebuild that place might be $1 million. The last thing you want to do is have a loss on $1 million property, right? Because some kids broke in and were partying after school. And then all of a sudden your insurance company says, oh, well, this property was vacant. I'm sorry, coverage is denied.
It's a great idea. It's something I need to talk to my clients about, the ones who do have a property vacant for a long time. Does this also include, I think you mentioned earlier when we were talking before the video, about contractors or in construction. Is this similar, or is that a different kind of rehabbing, flipping homes?
Joe, that's a good question. When a home is being purchased to flip or do a rehab, again, the best solution is to talk to your agent and get their feedback. Tell them what you're doing. Sometimes people think, oh, I don't want to tell them because I don't want to be charged more.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But again, it comes down to if there's a loss, do you want it covered or not? And the best policy is honesty in a case like this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because standard home policies, okay, depending on what you're doing to the property, if you're doing some painting and putting new carpeting in, probably not an issue. Okay. On the other hand, if you're tearing down everything but one wall to build a new house, I really think you better talk to your insurance company and get something what's called a course of construction or a builder's risk policy to cover it. Because again, you're doing major work on the home at that point.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Excellent.
Is there anything else that we should touch on?
No, I think that's it. You know, just like the value that you bring to your clients when you're selling them a property or helping them find a property to buy, I would tell your clients to partner with your insurance company and let them know what you're doing and let them know very clearly that you want to make sure you're protected for what those risks are. So the money you're spending is going to a good reason.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you, Roger.
Thanks for your time, Joe. Bye now.
Again, my name is Joe Polyak with Keller Williams Real Estate. This was Roger Heighton with Farmers Insurance. Thanks again for tuning in, watching another one of our videos. We have more to come, so feel free to ping me in the meantime if you have any real estate related questions. Also, if you have any insurance related questions, feel free to ping Roger. His contact info is in the description, in our blog, or you can just ask me for it, and I'll send it to you as well. Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks.